Many Christians repeat a phrase that sounds holy and comforting, but Jesus never actually said it. And once you realize how deeply it shapes your choices, your expectations, and even your spiritual identity, you'll understand why it's secretly one of the most dangerous beliefs in the church today. You've probably heard it 100 times in prayers, sermons, or in moments when people don't know what else to say. God will never give you more than you can handle. It feels soothing, but it's not in the Gospels, not in the teachings of Jesus, and not in the heart of biblical truth. And the shocking part is how this one sentence silently convinces you to carry weights Jesus never asked you to lift, suffer battles he warned you to surrender, and pretend you're stronger than you actually are. When Jesus spoke, he never promised you a manageable life. He promised you a cross. He promised you dependence on him. He promised you power that flows only when you admit you're at the end of yourself. That's why the first hidden insight you need is this. Jesus didn't say you could handle everything. He said without him, you can do nothing. John 15:5. Yet you live secretly frustrated because you keep trying to fight spiritual warfare with human strength, thinking the pressure means you're failing, when in reality, the pressure is proving that you're meant to lean fully on him. If you could handle everything, you wouldn't need deliverance, you wouldn't need grace, and you wouldn't cry out for the Holy Spirit. God allows situations to exceed your strength so you finally stop depending on your own. This leads to the second warning. This belief tricks you into thinking hardship is the test of personal toughness instead of a divine invitation. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary." But when you believe he only gives manageable burdens, you stop coming to him. You stop pouring out your heart. You stop admitting your weakness, and you hide your exhaustion behind spiritual cliches. You start praying shorter, trusting less, and pretending more. This is how Christians burn out while smiling. But here's the hidden truth. The moments that break you are often the very moments God uses to build you, because Romans 8:28 is activated not through your strength, but through your surrender. The third insight is the most uncomfortable one. You begin to misinterpret spiritual warfare as personal failure. When Paul said you would face trials too great for us to endure, and that he even despaired of life itself, 2 Corinthians 1:8, he wasn't confessing weakness, he was revealing a pattern. God sometimes lets you experience more than you can handle, so you'll discover who actually handles you. Jesus didn't say the storm would be light, he said he would be with you in it. And when Christians cling to that false phrase, they secretly assume that feeling overwhelmed means they're unspiritual, immature, or lacking faith, when in reality, the overwhelming moments are often the clearest evidence that God is training you to rely on his strength instead of your own. The fourth hidden insight is this. This belief kills intimacy with God because it keeps you performing instead of depending. You convince yourself you're supposed to stand tall, so you stop collapsing at his feet. You stop wrestling in prayer. You stop admitting your confusion. You forget Jesus said, "My power is made perfect in weakness," and you spend your life trying to look strong instead of being honest. Many Christians are spiritually suffocating today, not because of sin, but because they've accepted a counterfeit version of strength that Jesus never endorsed. And the final insight is the most freeing. Jesus didn't call you to handle everything. He called you to hand everything over. He didn't ask you to be unbreakable. He asked you to be available. He didn't design your life around your capacity. He designed it around his sovereignty. When you finally release the pressure to manage what was never yours to control, your faith becomes real, your prayer life comes alive, and your relationship with Jesus stops being a performance and starts being a partnership. So here is the conclusion you can't escape. The belief that God will never give you more than you can handle doesn't strengthen you, it isolates you. Let it fall apart today. Let the myth die. Then watch how quickly the presence of Jesus rushes into the space where your self-reliance used to live.